It's 66 degrees Fahrenheit, 19 degrees Celsius outside. It's very sunny. Go outside and play. In my in the studio with me today is a woman that I just love, co-founder of Diata Diata International Folklore Theater, founded in 1985, and she is here with to talk about another one of their wonderful plays coming out. Baddila family, Diata Diata International Folklore Theater presents A Fairy's Tale. Mm-hmm. And welcome to the WGXC Morning Show, Pam Baddila.
Thank you again and again, because you've always been so gracious about having us come on and talk about what we are offering as a wonderful service to the community that's based in family. So it's engaging and building and bonding, grounding a community through families. So this is a wonderful opportunity to share that. Thank you again.
And I think that's the wonderful aspect of Diata Diata, the bringing people together through families. Mm-hmm. Before we get to the fairy's tale, tell us a little bit about that, because I think that's a wonderful aspect that people should know about.
Because we believe that a community is only as strong as families are engaged, and the fundamental values that are generally spread through the knowledge of elders and elders before them, transmitted through family knowledge, and how people can teach through their parenting and learning from your children, children learning from parents. That builds a very, very strong bond of not only respect and admiration, but very mutual understanding that we really do depend upon each other. And you'll have to learn that builds affection when you learn to depend upon each other. So there'll be certain points where even if you disagree, you won't cross certain lines that become very, very unpleasant. If that happens in a family and it becomes strong and really, really engaging as a basic, fundamental manner in which that family operates, a community can only benefit from that. So that's how we do. We have families performing together, children with their parents. We have 3 generations of my family and another family, the Waith family, performing together. In fact, for this production, my mother, who will be 83 this year, is our queen mother of the fairies.
All right.
So it's like you see that the admiration and respect is transmitted throughout the production, because people have to know we are a family community. And I always let them know, and Mr. Baddila always told them, as we are performing this, you are an ensemble, you're a family for the duration of this piece. So you look out for each other. Somebody forgot their accessories, you look out for them. Somebody's making a mistake in their dance, we don't belittle them. We support and maintain the ensemble for the benefit of the whole. That's much more important than performing a piece of theater or entertainment. It's a lesson in life and continuity of family, community, which can only go on into nations and world communities.
All right. That is beautiful. Tell us about A Fairy's Tale. Mm-hmm. Not T-A-L-E.
But you see, this is the thing. I like to play with words. It's a fairy tale, but it's a fairy tale about a fairy's tale. She has a spectacular tale. It is fabulous. And of course, we always have that expression, pretty girls a dime a dozen and that kind of thing, because it's easy to be beautiful. And, if people stop and drop their jaw and look at you passing, cars crash into each other, people drop their tray in the lunchroom. She's so beautiful. But that's the easy part. Not knowing anything deeper than that is actually a detriment for anybody. To not know depth of character, to not be taught values of compassion, to not understand, to appreciate. These are issues that I have with young people and even my own contemporaries, where we look at superficial illusions of beauty, and we regard that as being the matter that we should be addressing, and there's so much that's ignored. And so this play deals with arrogance and frivolous appreciations, and especially not appreciation, the wonderful beauty that you do have right there.
Yes, kind of like the Ugly Duckling being retold.
But so many different. I think you could see so many different of these ideals about, because the Ugly Duckling, for example, he was in a crowd he didn't really belong in. He was being raised as a duckling when in fact he was a swan.
Right.
So he was not among his peers. But in effect, this girl, this fairy, she's among her peers, but not appreciating it, because you're prettier doesn't mean you're better than them. And then you're living in a wonderful world where, for example, I make a point without telling the story. Here we have wonderful flowers and beautiful foliage. How many of us, and I ask the kids, do you stop and actually smell the flowers? And many of them tell me, no, I'm busy, I don't have time. And that's a sad thing, because there I am, I guess, embarrassing some of my kids, well, my kids know better, than to stop and smell flowers all along the route to somewhere that I'm going, because I like to appreciate their beauty as much as I can, and I ingest the smell of them and I absorb it, and it makes me happy every time. Now, imagine that not only were the flowers beautiful to see and smell, that you could actually hear them.
Right.
Well, come on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday evening and listen to the beautiful melody of flowers.
And that brings us to the date and the place of this magnificent play.
That'll be Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, the 9th, 10th, and 11th. We'll be performing all evenings at 7 p.m. at the Hudson Intermediate School, which I must mention is, in my estimation, the most beautiful theater in the city of Hudson. It was built in the 30s. It has got this beautiful crown molding. The plasterwork is phenomenal, the chandeliers, and it is open to the public. In that fact, it is wheelchair accessible. It's air conditioned. Unlike last year's production, we had to do that in a little more difficult, unair conditioned space, although it was wonderful. And I want to thank people who made it very, very possible for us to even do this, because the Hudson City School Board did come through on the waiver, let us use the building. We have people who, like the counselors on the arts, who awarded us the grant. This is our 12th consecutive season, and we've been receiving the grants every year to be able to pull this through. Not to mention the Hudson Opera House, who has helped us with the ability to have the insurance to even use the school, the Hudson Area Library as our conduit organization, and so many people. I mean, when you talk about in-kind contributions, it's so difficult to even amass the figures of dollars of how much people have incorporated their effort and their participation, believing in what we're trying to accomplish here, and that's just overwhelming.
And that is one thing that's fantastic about this community. Everybody likes to put their heads together as opposed to knocking heads. So
That's how you build.
I find that very refreshing.
It's remarkable. That's true. This is why they say Hudson, the friendly city, and it's a thing where people can hear an expression and it can come and go. There might be moments when you don't feel there's such friendliness, but in effect, we are a multicultural community in a small space where you kind of have to recognize that if we don't get along and help each other and promote a certain kind of understanding that we're here for a cause, it would be very unpleasant in Hudson. But in effect, it's wonderful. When I went to the Bangladesh Festival last September, I was overwhelmed by the unity of that community and how others came in and really enjoyed them presenting themselves. Well, what happens is that when you engage a community and teach them by your example, that bonds and really solidifies the fact that that community is in effect solid and trying to grow and develop. But all this wonderful industry coming into Hudson, it's something that needs to be addressed, that not only do you need industry, but you need art.
Yes.
And you need that bonding of communication where you can actually express in so many ways how we are as wonderfully different and at the same time so much alike.
Well, if you just joined us, you're listening to the WGXC Morning Show. Philip is on your radio, and I'm here with Pamela Baddila, and she is the co-founder of Diata Diata International Folkloric Theater. And we are discussing the upcoming play coming up on August the 9th, 10th, and 11th at the Hudson Intermediate School at 7 p.m. And I love the price. The price is free. A Fairy's Tale, a marvelous adventure in the land of wonder and mystery. And what else? Tell us, what else is Diata Diata up to?
Well, we're at the present in Berkshire Pulse, Massachusetts, doing dancing story workshops with young people. We're, as you heard this morning, developing our family talents in the diaspora. Munanu, who now performs under the name of Nanu. You heard him on the rap of the WGXC theme song.
That's why we
extended it. That's my son Nanu. He's the youngest of all 10 of our children, and his voice, if you hear him now online on YouTube, it's much deeper. It's like Nanu, Nanu. It's all different.
They cross a certain age.
Oh yes, he went right to getting his dad's voice. And then you have Milandu, who is also known as Young Paris. He's working a lot in Montreal now, performing with Emmanuel Jao, fantastic survivor of the Sudanese wars, and they're recording together songs of peace and other things. He's going up there doing a lot of production in the Phi Center, really, really moving. Gunga, of course, with his mixed martial arts, with his supreme physical capacity to help train other people. And Tangu, one of the twins, she's a executive pastry chef at the Crosby Street Hotel in New York City in Soho. Ngonda, you know, as Lady Moon.
Moon.
She just came off of a phenomenal performance in the city, and she's, you know, looking for more opportunities to record. So she'll probably be putting out a Kickstarter project soon. Everybody's working well. Kula is our family farmer. She went, you know, she graduated from Hawthorne Valley Waldorf School and came up loving the land so much that she wants to be a farmer. She's gone out woofing. And she's coming back today from California, and she'll be handling the family farm, which is basically our backyard. But everybody in Chota, it's like they're all doing great things. Chota's a phenomenal dancer. He'll be featured in the play doing his own style of, they call it the tutton and all that, but it's really his own creativity of this fluid movement that makes him really, you know, unique to watch as a dancer. But so everybody is doing something that makes me just you know, proud and like just practically tickled just to watch them grow and develop. It's a phenomenon that their father and I always knew that they would be, because they were brought up to be expressive and not to hold back their gifts. Many children, I find, hold back their gifts of expression. And the one thing I like about doing these productions is that we get to bring people out of that shell of not communicating, and then with their parents together, performing together, go home and rehearse together. It's just so much fun, you know.
Well, I wanted to touch on something, because the night before last, when I was going over doing my show prep for the week, and I realized that we were coming up on this date with you, and you have already mentioned it a couple of times. I thought of their father, because has it been almost a year?
It's been a year, and it's been a difficult year. I can't deny it, because, you know, that's one thing that I noticed. It's remarkably noticeable that his presence, that very soothing, comforting father figure over the whole umbrella, you know, of every production we've ever given, it is lacking, and it's evident. I mean, even we have my sons are there, and we have a lot of, you know, input of other adults, you know, working with us. I cannot deny, and I remarked it just lately this week, that him not being physically present is very, you know, it's there are moments I have to pull myself aside and just take a, you know, silent moment alone, because I feel so deeply, you know, that's I miss him incredibly, and I miss that when we do these kinds of projects. I feel it even more. But it's been over a year, and the children, they have, I always say I'm attended by angels, because it's because of these children and their deep affection. You know, they all have the same tattoo now. They all went and got, all 10 of them, a tattoo of one of their father's dancing figures from his paintings, the magical Dogon.
I remember commenting to young Paris that as long as he is in your heart, always there.
Yeah, and in our culture, we know that you don't die. We know in our culture you never do. It's just that your physical presence, you can't help that you miss the physical presence. But we're going to pull it off, and people will be very astounded to recognize that not only will we make it a strong production, it'll be very entertaining, very colorful, very, you know, involving the audience in this brilliant land of wonder. You will go into there and not even notice the time passing, and starting and ending with a figure that often we take for granted in the community where you find them most and revere them and appreciate them least. There is a figure that is current among us in many communities, which we look at them with very deep and infectious disdain and reproach. And in effect, you never know the magic that's hidden right in front of your very eyes.
And we're going to find out what that figure is at the play.
That's right. You must come. You must come.
The Baddila family, Diata Diata International Folkloric Theater, they will be presenting A Fairy's Tale, The Marvelous Adventure in a Land of Wonder and Mystery. And it will be on August 9th, 10th, and 11th at the Hudson Intermediate School, 7 p.m. And the price can't be beat. It's free. It's an event that was made possible with public funds from the New York State Council of the Arts and administered by the Columbia County, by Greene County Council of the Arts through the Community Arts Grant Fund. Pamela, as always,
I just want to shout out my sister Yolanda is here cooking because we always offer snack at every rehearsal, and now
Okay.
the late nights we offer dinner as well. And Londa's there cooking, and her daughter Rebecca and my nephew Chris, they're out there being stage crews. They're listening now. I want to just shout them out and thank them profusely.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, I used to think the play cannot go on without the grip,
You already know.
without the louding people.
Thank you so
It is
much.
just not